Okay, good people. I am excited for tonight. As I mentioned before in the first character development, character emotional mapping class, this is something new I'm doing with the characters because I don't want the characters to just learn a script, but understand who this person is. I've been invited into I've been invited to reflect the Tin Man. I've been invited to reflect the lion, the scarecrow. What's the other one? The Wiz.
Hmm.
And what does that really mean? And I was just telling Bevs that um, questions provoke curiosity. And I hope the questions that were assigned didn't provoke stress, but provoked curiosity as to, yeah, who am I in this scene? What is this scene asking of me?
Yeah.
Right? And as I become immersed into the not the emotional piece, even the physical piece of it, that will help with the blocking. So this is my understanding, and y'all tell me what y'all think. If I understand who the character is, it makes my lines more authentic for me. It makes my movements more organic, right?
Yeah.
And I come across like I really am the Tin Man, right? I really am reflecting a man who numbs his feelings. I'm really reflecting a man who, as far as the scarecrow, a man who is trying to stop overthinking and just accept me for who I am.
Hmm.
So I brought Richard on just like Babs. God has blessed me. And to see Richard last week is like, duh, I need Richard. Because in everything I've seen him in, I've seen him in two things, but in both plays, he was that character. And I was like, he don't be cussing like that. Dang, he don't act like that. He's a real mild-mannered young man, but he was boisterous. And I'm like, well, who is that on that stage? Right?
Hmm.
So I want Clarence people to come and be like, well, who is that? That's not Clarence.
Hmm.
That's not Charles. That's not Khalif. You know, they have become those characters, just like with Training Day with Denzel. I'm
Hmm.
like, well, who in the ham sandwich is that? You know? I mean,
Hmm.
he was totally, if this sounds crazy, right, Richard?
Hmm.
He was totally out of character with that character.
Hmm.
And so,
It's one of my favorite roles ever. Yeah,
what you say?
it's one of my favorite roles he ever did, Denzel.
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
I'm with
Yeah.
you on that.
Because I mean, him playing what's his name? Malcolm X.
Hmm.
I mean, he could do that.
Hmm.
The different roles he's played, but when he played Training Day, he really went and got somebody from New York. He went home. He spent some time at home in New York, and I think he probably added layers to that character. I think that's what Richard does. Am I right? Because
Mm.
Yeah. No, you're
I
right.
don't
Yeah.
think, yeah, I don't think you can write the way you act. I think you come in with some layers. So I am grateful. And Khalif and Charles have done a lot of plays, and Demetrius has done a lot of plays. And my hope is that they don't get stuck, right? That they don't get um, what is it? Where you just feel like I'm just acting. I'm just in here
Hmm.
acting again. That
Hmm.
that when the people see Khalif, they're like, oh, I'm not used to him like that. When
Hmm.
they see Charles, I'm not used to Charles like that. Demetrius, I'm not used to Demetrius like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I know what will really help Demetrius if he'll be able to sing. I know he wants to do that, and I want to give him that opportunity. Ha 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 ha. So I'm talking about now not getting stuck in a particular way you do a role, but really come into this role as if it is a blank script you've never acted before, and you want to bring something to it where you're unrecognizable, not only to yourself, but to the people in the audience that come in to see you. So, with that being said, whew, take a deep breath. We'll introduce ourselves. Babs, you want to go?
Sure. Thank you so much for that. I'm just humbled by the work that y'all do in this space for the sake of what this project is about, and that's to embody the insecurities that no one is exempt from and the unique gender and cultural aspects of, what is such a heavy load to bear, you know,
Mm-hmm.
psychologically, emotionally, physically, like all of it. I'm just honored to be a participant in support. So I'm Babs Belk, and I introduced myself before. Richard, you don't know me, so I'll tell you a little bit about me. So I moved here last year from Oakland, California. I'm a clinical psychologist by training and worked in the field for a couple decades, working with multicultural groups, pretty intense work, um, inpatient, outpatient, and have had to go through my own work. Have a pretty significant trauma background with um, abject poverty. Um, and so, some tough stuff in my own life as well. Like again, none of us are exempt. And so one of the things that has been really important to me, being really poor and female, is growing up being othered by white men throughout my life. And so one of the things that I always thought was not cool is that's not fair. And so I began to work in doing work both in terms of clinical psychology to understand why we behave the way we do. Why do we treat others the way that we do? What's that about? And then on the other hand, working in social justice. And so I've been a DEI leader for a couple different companies and doing that work. The work I did in California and Oregon and the state of Washington was predominantly eradicating race-based medicine practices, and then also working to eradicate systemic racism in healthcare overall. So a little bit of work there, and I'm really grateful for it. So I hope that I can parlay some of that, bring some of that to um, to this work. And by no means, obviously I'm white. I haven't experienced.
No, you white girl.
I have to tell everybody.
Oh, girl, I know you were white.
Ruben, my man. I don't know if you know Ruben Miner. He and Jackie are really close, and he and I have been seeing each other now for a while. And he tells his friends and family, he's like, yeah, my lady, and this and this and this, and she's white.
No, girl. Is that your identification? Mm, hilarious.
I don't know where I was going with that, but no, because I recognize that I have limitations to my level of understanding other than my desire and continued work to lean in. My son is Latino, and there was, significant racism that he's experienced in his life, and so I've walked along that path with him. But I don't experience that. I have white uh, privilege, and I know that too. And so, there's limits to what where my blind spots are. So all that said, I hope I can be of service and contribution because this is so important.
Thank you.
Dr. Bath, I love you every time you talk more. I'm like, come on now. Come on. Let's not act like mirrors don't exist, but the empathy that you pour into the advocacy is like we need the ally. You know what I mean? And
Well,
nothing better than you.
don't even get me started. Who should be doing the work? It's not the people who are
Exactly.
oppressed. It should be the white folks who are oppressing. Y'all should not have to do any of the work. None of it.
Come on, Rich. Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, 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 for sure. No, I mean, it's all something. We're all stuck on the side of the road. Everybody need to push. We don't
White
need
folks
we
more
don't
than
need
anybody.
spectators. Yeah,
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 thank you. But yeah, not that I have any uh passion about that.
yeah.
I don't think I want to push. Okay. Richard, you want to go next?
Yeah, how you doing, guys? My name is Richard Wright. Acting wise, I go by Richard G. Wright. It's fine. Overall, I do. I'm based in Columbus. I'm 26 years old. I am a recording artist, actor, screenplay writer, and director. But I mainly do theater acting, which Jackie has saw me in and stuff like that. So, for theater background, I have done my first play was in 2023 was Matter of Conscious. It was a two-person play where I played W.B. Du Bois,
Mm.
co-star of to Booker T. Washington, and that was between me and Theo White, which I believe some of you guys know from Columbus, and that was really good. Then after that, I'm in a series of August Wilson plays that's getting played at the Columbus Performance Arts Center downtown, where we're trying to go through August Wilson's playwrights from the beginning to the end. So I think it's about 10. And sometimes we jump around because of licensing. But so far we did Gem of the Ocean, where I was the lead person of Citizen Barlow. And then we did Piano Lesson, where I was the lead of why is it leaving me? Boy Willie. And so after that, I did doing film and things like that. So everything's been going really well. I was in Black Theater Festival also, which I think if you guys were really into theater and either want to get in or figure out that theater space and get into that culture, I think the Miss Julie Wiley Scott really does a great job of bringing everybody together for the Black Theater Festival. I've been in there 2 times,
Mm.
done 2 plays each time. So I'm very versed into theater, but I'm also still in a stage of still learning and still I'm still in the beginning because I have big dreams of being on a TV screen on Netflix. So we're
Mhm,
not stopping until we get there. So we're still in the
mhm,
beginning, but like Miss Jackie said, is that really good and really um, toned into characterization. And like she said, a great term was layer. I really come into layerness and really going beyond just the script and things like that. So that's some of the things I would, want to work with too. Again, I'm to me, people always say like they saw me and it's been these big like plays and stuff like that. Where like I'm experienced, but I'm still just beginning. So as much as I've taken advice to y'all, I would love to hear your point of view, of course, and take your own advice because we always learn from each other. So yeah, that's me.
Oh, cool. Congratulations. My gosh, that's
Thank you.
amazing.
yes, sir.
I'm building a team, guys, to help us. Yay. Cha cha
All-star
cha.
team.
Demetrius.
Hey everybody, Demetrius Moore Saunders. I believe I met everybody at least once or twice too as well. But a quick introduction: I'm an actor, model, mentor, mental health advocate, especially in the sports field too as well. So I have a couple on my own businesses and mental health work that I'm doing in the sports field for athletes. I've been in the entertainment industry for 16 years now. So 13 years professionally. I did 3 years of college. I was in theater back in college and then did some jobs here and there, but definitely been in acting ever since, specifically in acting. I do a lot, but my bread and butter is acting for sure. So other than that, yeah, that's short and sweet. I've done a lot. So yeah. Yeah.
So good. Nice to see you again.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure.
Mr. Clarence.
Terrence Anthony Ray the fourth is my name.
Ooh.
Uh, yeah, no originality when it came to names. They just said continue. you know. But originally from Dayton, Ohio. My family is from North Carolina and Virginia. So if you hear an accent, that's where it's coming from. Passions is photography, graphic design. But my real purpose in life is to help others. So whether it be carrying water from Miss Jackie Carr to seeing somebody who needs, promotion or assistance with that. I've worked with nonprofits, from website building to billboards. I used to DJ. Yeah, I was a lot of different things. Anything I can get my hands on, I'm always into. But professionally, I do customer service, yet again, helping people. And then as far as any offhand work is, freelance graphic designer.
Mm,
Uh, so yeah, I always got my hand in something. So yeah, that's me in a nutshell.
so
Oh,
cool.
all right.
Nice to see you again, Clarence.
So
Late Dr.
Demetrius,
Vance.
I
Mhm.
see you, Darius.
I knew I
Um,
was waiting for him. All right.
um, Demetrius Richard is playing the characteristics of the lion, and then Clarence is playing the characteristics of the
Tin Man.
timid. Khalif is playing the characteristics of the Wiz, and Charles Easley is reflecting the Scarecrow.
All right,
Aquetta
so for
is
the on here, so what? So what's the young like? Who's like Stark, Tennell, Paul, John? Is that still a
yeah,
thing? Right.
Yeah,
yeah.
Okay. So which one?
So
Tanel.
My
Yeah,
bad. Which one? So Clarence is who? Is it
Tanel.
Tennell?
Janelle,
Okay, got it. And
Yeah.
then
Mhm.
Meech is
Paul
Paul
Anthony,
Anthony.
Paul
Paul.
Anthony.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Yeah.
then okay.
Charles
Khalif is
is Stark.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it.
Believe is John Mark. I'm about to change your contact on my phone, Meech.
Why
okay.
is that? Because name spell?
No, no, no. Not like that. I'm
Oh,
about to change you to the character name. You better
oh,
be
oh,
you better
man,
be
you
Paul
gonna mess
Anthony.
me all the way up.
Okay, I
There
got
it
it.
is. Why are you acting bad? Okay. All right, guys. So what we want to do is go through from the prelude to I think it'll be scene four.
Hmm.
Um, but before we do that, is there anything you guys want to say before we jump in?
Hmm. In regards to what? Can
Oh, as it relates to understanding the flow, where it starts with, because we're saying hope opened my eyes. Well, the
hmm
prelude is telling the audience, excuse me, what closed their eyes.
hmm that's
So
very good.
even though you guys are not in that, it'll be a younger version of yourselves. I still wanted to go from there to scene four.
So that you have continuity between what that's about, the impact of that emotionally, psychologically, and then behaviorally and physically that they bring into their roles. Is that your intention?
Yes, because it's from there that the young Stark, the young John Mark, the young Tennell, the young Paul Anthony learns the survival skills that he's going to be showing after that scene.
Right, right.
And oftentimes than not, we meet people in their survival mode.
Especially if there's any kind of stress.
Exactly. So I'm taking the audience from bam to bam. Any questions about the prelude? Are you guys familiar with, has these statements even been, or phrases have been made to you? Man up, blah, blah, blah.
Hmm.
I was also going to say that as we go through the questions and also reading it, when you're acting and stuff into it, as you guys can like know, is that the prelude is one of the most important things of the play. Like it's probably it's like it's the ground it's like the ground foundation. So what I wrote down when I was trying to take like the notes on preparing is that when the hilarious come from the character is that the prelude is the little boy. And we think about our lives as grown men now, but we were once, of course, little boys. Is that the little boy never leaves us. It never like leaves us, right? So what happens in childhood never leaves us. Even we're grown men, we're still that little boy on the inside in some ways, in some fashion. So, but for us, and talking to Clarence of like last week, and then with me, showing you work with mental health and stuff like that, even I work with mental health, is that we have blessed enough to be able to heal the little boy, heal the things that we went through in the past enough
Mhm.
so where we can grow and be our own adults and things like that. But like Miss Jackie says, sometimes they're still in survival mode and they haven't had that chance to heal and even change. And that little boy is still feeling whatever characteristic he's feeling. He either is feeling he can never express emotion, or maybe he feel like he already had to carry that. He's the man of the house since he was like 8, stuff like that, where he carried that mentality traits all the way until he was a till now a grown man. So your characters, they're trying to get home, so they haven't healed yet. Like they're not there, but they're
Mhm.
trying to get there. So when
Mhm.
you talk about the prelude and answer these questions, you have to think about when you become this character, how and what traits and characteristic is the little boy peeking out into this character in your own way, if that makes sense. Like if let's see, Clarence is the sensitive boys don't cry. So if you the prelude is that boys don't cry, your emotions are always being constrained. So in survival mode, you have learned to constrain your emotions. So
Mhm.
to be consistent when you're an adult character, you have to keep that continuous and but that pain and that still that emotion and effect of the prelude still shines in that character. But you have to figure out how to make it come through in that character while also constraining it because you're still in survival mode. That makes
Mhm.
sense?
Oh, I
You know
got that frog in my throat right now. I've
yeah,
been trying to cry for
you
the
feel me?
last week and a half. I'm
Feel
like,
me?
get over
So yeah, so
there.
use that. So I'm saying so use that, into that character because that can just shows how different and what how that prelude is a foundation for what these characters are going through throughout the whole play until they reach that home and be healed. So
Mhm.
that's why we just think about like how would you or even real life before you got healed as a man or even still healing, is like how does
Mhm.
that little boy and how does these things that were taught to us or told to us as a child come through in our adult lives, even though we try to constrain it or try to hide it from others? Like how does it come through in our real lives? And then that's how you put that towards your character. So I don't want to stress out. So we go through these preludes that you can like think about that and how you would show that in your adult character and how it mimics the little boy in the beginning. So yeah, sorry, that was long.
Great point. Great point.
Well said.
But do you guys, I think that the little boy, is he part of our self-awareness process though? That I know he's still there?
Yeah. I mean, he's evident regardless of whether you see it or not. You know what I mean? And it's more so about like culling the you're taming that inner child or that inner child is running free and you think that you're the only person that's masking that. Yeah.
Okay. Any comments, Demetrius?
Repeat your question again because I had a thought process in it, but I want to make sure my thought process is relevant to what you're asking because I have a different flow in terms of what you were just saying with the little boy thing. Here, that's show you will show in a little bit. Repeat your question about the little boy again. Is he present, or are you saying are you aware of the little boy during that healing time? Um, I would say I agree with Clarence's standpoint, and I also think about it as you may not be aware of that little boy at all because you may not be aware of that trigger you are actually going into comes from that little boy aspect because most of us see ourselves as adults right now, so you don't see yourself as that little boy, you see yourself as this adult taking on this let's just for example if somebody's like triggering you in an argument and saying man up, you don't realize that
Yeah.
that may come from a little boy aspect but you're hearing it in the man undertone. So I agree with that standpoint, but that's why I wanted to ask again, just to make sure that I was flowing in the correct way too, as well. So I think that especially with this, uh, we're on a tricky state of emotion, depending on what words you say. you can say them in a certain way. And I think that's another thing to take in account of how you're saying, do I know it's this little boy talking or this man talking? In some ways, it may be the man talking, but in some instances, when you say certain lines, it's the little boy talking, and figuring out that dissection between which one is actually having that voice at what time, too, as well, in the character.
That's
My,
good.
my, my.
And I'm wondering too about context because those triggers, right? Whether we're consciously aware of them or not, whatever that is that gets triggered, context is everything. Like who's saying the thing. We get triggered a certain way because of who it is. If it's like some white guy at work, you know, or if it's your spouse, somebody you want to be able to be vulnerable with and you really trust, and there's like that, man up, you too, right?
Mm.
My safe, yeah.
So I think in the work that you're doing, Jackie, to look at where um, characters are in the context of who they're interacting with can call for different levels of that demonstration of that level of insecurity or whatever it is that gets triggered.
And I think before we go into the questions, I'm gonna make this statement. Uh, in the first session, Richard, we identified that the Wiz and the Lion has some similarities. And while it's my desire to actually put a mask on um, John Mark, the I want to see how interesting it's going to be for Paul Anthony Demetrius to mask a lot of things as well without the mask.
Right.
I think they
Mhm.
parallel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay. Clarence, was you trying to say something?
Nope, I was just stating the same thing. Yep, I see that same similarity. His is masked to masculinity, in reference to showing the characteristics of courage, despite the feelings internally, and that's that duality that he was talking about.
Yeah, I agree with that. I just hearing what Clarence said too as well, thinking about they both show the courage in different ways. Like the Wiz has his courage shown in a arrogance, even though he's afraid. You will
Right.
never see that. As far as the Lion, he has his
Mhm.
courage shown where you see that other side where he tries to show an arrogance, but you can peek through that little his armor a little bit more. So and he shows up a little bit more afraid in terms of like he's sorry, my Biden technology. I got a smart house. So yeah.
Also,
Yeah, apocalypse come, it's gonna turn on me. But I see that duality in that aspect.
Okay. All right, let's hit it. This is really good. Okay. Do you have your paper printed, Babs?
I have mine on my second screen here so I can see it. Thank you.
Okay. That'd probably be easier for you to read if you wanted to. I can figure out. Let me put this up here on my thing. There we go. All right. I'm down on another page. I am. Sorry. Are you guys understanding why we doing this way?
yeah.
Okay. All right. I will just get right into the questions with the prelude. We went over why we're doing it. So for your part in the prelude to Nell, so I'm gonna just call you by characters.
Mhm.
What's your survival strategy you think was born in that moment when you were hearing those statements?
When I brought back that, I wrote down something when we did that the identity of shame and fear of acceptance and feeling inadequate was the basis of why that person developed that coping mechanism of turning off the feelings or numbing feelings.
Okay. Um, so how did that strategy protect the boy in you, numbing his
Uh,
emotions?
you don't give anybody something to work with. You know what I mean? If you're careful with what information you give out, nobody else can flip what you got. You know what I mean? Which really doesn't give them a chance to know you, which doesn't give them a chance to use that on you.
Okay. Paul Anthony, what survival strategy was not only born, but do you believe was carried into adulthood for your character?
Hmm. That's a good question. Um, I would say having to figure out alone, not asking for help. Nobody's really coming to save you, so you have to put your own cape on and kind of save yourself. So even if you need help, you're not really asking for it. It's just you're accepting it, but you're not portraying that you need help because you kind of got it together, even when the cracks are falling.
Okay. So how does the same strategy keep the man from becoming who he longs to be, though?
Um, you can't keep the pressure. Sometimes you to be a good leader, you have to delegate sometimes, and not only delegate, you have to realize that you can't do it alone, and you have to ask for help. So, as you say, how does it protect the boy? It protects the boy in terms of not being let down. If like if you don't ask for help, you will never be taking a loss pretty much because now, and if we're talking about Paul Anthony and my thought process of the character, when he did need help, it never went the way it was supposed to be, or people wasn't really on his side in terms of what he needed. A lot of things got brushed up under the rug. So with that being said, it's easier not even to ask for help because now you don't have to even worry about the outcome being let down.
Okay.
That's
Also,
really good.
I would try to add for that one too. Is like two things. It's more of being a disappointment to others too. Like when you the disappointment of trying not to fail when you do fail, or when people are counting on you, like you, it puts a lot of pressure of not trying to fail, and then also, like to like your point, me, it's just when you do ask for help, things you said, then also when people use it against you, or like, oh, I had to help him, or he asked me, that stuff runs through
Mhm.
your mind too, definitely. So, yeah.
I agree with that. I agree. Like you said, the letting down too. It's a double-edged sword.
Mhm.
You don't want to like you stay in the leadership because you have that high expectation of not letting anybody down, but at the same time, like that can hinder you too as well because you don't want to ask for help because you may let somebody down too. So I definitely agree with that.
Okay.
Something that really struck me too about what you were talking about in thinking about that little boy who, can't be tender, right? Be real. And so having to, nobody's going to come and save, there's that false strength you have to build. And so what's happened is that the real you has been abandoned by others, and you've had to abandon that real you too. And then when
Mhm.
we ask for help, like when we really need it, it's because we want that child in us to be supported, saved, even recognized at all. And if somebody doesn't do that, I love your point of, you know, um, the disappointment, the rejection, the pain of that when somebody doesn't offer it when we're really, really wanting, because we're not just wanting help for like right now for this thing. It's like I want recognition that I'm, that child in me, that tenderness, that tender part of me is okay to have, to be.
And
Does that
so then I would piggyback on and I'm trying to, I want y'all to catch it too. But Tanil, you had to abandon yourself as well.
Right.
You had
Correct.
to, you had to turn off your God-given portion of emotions to
Hmm.
protect yourself. So you all are in a protective mode. It just comes out looking different.
And in that
Definitely.
you have been abandoned. You had to abandon a part of yourself. Like Jackie, that you said, God gave all of us these emotions, these feelings.
Yeah, not just to women.
Right. And what a
So
rejection of self when we can't embrace that and be that.
say it again.
What a rejection of self. What a um, it's like part of us has to die off. We like force that part of us to die off. They don't get to have space
Hmm.
or play.
And yeah, it's a starving almost in a sense. You don't feed that aspect. You
Yeah.
can't grow in that area. So
Mm,
what you don't feed is becomes deficient. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And then so it might not, even when you get a chance to use it, you might not be able to use it right because this is not something that you've exercised or fed into. So there is, a big thing about, even though it's not present for you, which you think you pushed it off, it's there. It's just weak. It's just like you
Yes.
went to the gym and didn't walk on your legs.
Yes.
You still
Yeah.
got legs. They just weak.
Yeah.
that's really good. So you didn't massage that or exercise that muscle or massage that muscle
Correct.
anymore. I
Mm-hmm.
like that you abandoned
Hmm.
that portion of you in order to survive the moment.
Hmm.
Okay. How
And it
often
really,
are how often are men showing up um, with less of who they are?
Mm.
What's the percentage?
I can't even say that.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if
So
there
much
is.
about of a men is
Yeah,
not to think large scale either. Like men are
yeah.
focused on themselves. You know what I mean? I got this thing I'm over here trying to push down. While I'm worried about you, I'm trying to make sure you ain't seeing me. I'm just so men are so self conscious that they can't be self aware of the people who are around them. So I
yeah,
can't tell you what he's pushing deep inside because I only expose that to my friend group or something like that. So you know, it'd have to be a statistic, but it's all a guess.
Yeah, I that's what I was gonna say. Same thing with Clarence. Like you learn how to compartmentalize. You learn just like even in at least let's just say for me for sports, that you get a lot of hatred just for being on the team for sports. Just and I've had a lot of words that were unkind said to me. A lot of words where if I didn't have a uniform on, I would be able to defend myself with them a little bit better. But because I had that uniform on, I had to compartmentalize and
mm,
block out those words, but they still affect you in
Mm,
certain ways. So, and I think that's why we can't really put a percentage on really what men go through or how many men go through that situation just because for let's just say for me, it may be a situation with a woman, and
mm,
I'm just going off the cusp. But for another man, it may be a situation with his work life where he
mm,
has to kind of put blockers on. So, and we all do that as a human race. But
mm,
with that being said, if we're going off the percentage for man, it kind of gets that where you block it out until it comes out pretty
mm.
much, and then you try to
It's
block it out again with some of them. So,
It's like sexual assault. It's like as much as we have statistics on sexual assault, we will never have a true
mhm,
number of how many people were affected by sexual assault. You know what I'm saying? And the
right.
same thing with emotional incompetence when it comes to men feeling certain ways. You'll never know because certain people go to psychologists or psychiatrists, but not everybody's going to go ahead and be vulnerable or look to seek for help, so they're still masking it as if they have no problems,
mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, because what's
Gonna
at
move
stake
on.
if you unmask it?
right?
What's at stake?
So now we're moving into Dorothy's invitation. Part of this is if Dorothy never interrupted your life, where would you be 10 years from now? So here she's coming. She
Mhm.
sings her song, Hope Opened My Eyes. Now she's coming. You guys are in the audience, and now she's coming for you. She's interrupting this lifestyle of survival. But what if she never did? Would the scarecrow still be, will Stark still be on that, what's that pole with the,
Yeah.
right? Would the
Right.
Tin Man still be emotionally,
Mhm.
like, where would you be? Where do you
Yeah.
think your character would be?
Still be hiding in reference to my character. When we talk about Stark, he would still be overthinking. He would still be having this internal dialogue where he's not even hearing the world around him because he's consumed by his own thoughts. Um, so yeah, and then a lot of things for my character to Neil is shrinking to go unnoticed. And when Dorothy finds him in the crowd, you beautifully kind of put the fact that he's kind of like you wouldn't even notice him had he not been addressed.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, you don't
Um,
answer. Oh, go ahead.
yeah, I would say I feel like all the characters have a symbolism with each other too as well. Because if you think about like Stark is in his head and not voiceful, but we're all in our heads. And to answer that question, I think we all would still be alone because
Mm-hmm.
then we all still have the mask on. So even with the Tin Man, he would never get close to anybody because he has his mask on still. So his heart would never open up in terms of even like I said when I was telling you in the sense of we've been on this journey with Dorothy and then she went home and then we don't know the time span and essentially all the Scarecrow, Tin Man, and Lion have been together all this time,
Mhm.
essentially, even with the Wiz. So there's that brothership that kind of came together. So essentially, I think we would still all be alone in our own torment. At least for the Lion, I think life will be successful, but I think it'll be a tormented life of still chasing something too as well, like whether it's success or anything like that, like chasing to prove something.
Imposter syndrome.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Anything you want to interject here, Richard, before we go on? This is good, guys.
I think it's good. We can go on.
I'm sorry.
I think we're good. We can go on.
Oh, okay. Okay. So as you read the script and she's came in the audience and then you guys on the stage with her,
Mhm.
what does Dorothy recognize in your character before you recognize it in yourself? So
Yeah, I,
she has a dialogue with you while you're still in the audience.
mhm. I definitely know that with my character Tennille, she identifies what I think I'm hiding initially, and then that gives me space to vocalize it. You know what I mean? And I think that that's it. Like it's just like so many things that you know within your head, but you're scared to say out.
Mm-hmm.
So I think she gives me that space. Like she identifies that I'm tired. You know what I mean? When she introduces me into the scene, um, and my response is more than I thought. You know what I mean? Because at that moment, that's when I get to put down the that or I open the door to let her in that sense. So I think that what was the question? What's your yeah, she's interrupting that
No,
ability.
what she recognize in your character?
Oh, what she
Now
recognized, yeah, that I'm
yeah,
stressed, that I'm tired from what I'm holding, the weight that I'm holding. I'm tired from it. It's burdening me in that sense. When we talk about what does she recognize within my character.
And then also like a little just to see to put it out there to see like what you think about this. It's like, do you think that she also sees because for this character, something I see also in like little boys who I teach to is that when they have this when they feel like they can't show emotion,
Hmm.
um and they have to put that emotion inside of them, they also are on a high alert of of they can't let me I can't be soft. Like there's almost like a almost like a paranoia of being like quote unquote hard all the time. And
Hmm.
that could be stress inducing too, where you're instead of relaxing, you can't relax because you always
Hmm.
think about perception of you looking soft. So you have to
Hmm.
always carry this notion of you being like hard
Tense.
and like
Hmm.
emotionally got it together, like strong. And
Hmm.
that could be also tiring too, on top of keeping the inside thing too. Just to pick your brain about that. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And your body language is you tense. You're stiff and you tense.
Hmm.
Good stuff. Demetrius, she's out in the audience. She's coming for Paul Anthony. What does she
I
recognize in your character before you recognize it?
mm, um the weight. I would say she recognizes the weight of um that I've been carrying.
Okay.
Um Also, I would say the going back to how we said in the beginning, reason why I don't want to lead, why I don't want to be in the forefront, that she recognizes the shine that if somebody was more encouraging, things would be different, and
Mm.
that I should open up more.
So you're saying she's recognizing both the impact of that imposter
Mhm.
have to be, and at the same time, she sees through to some richness, some strengths behind
Yeah,
that.
the worth
Yeah.
of being like, because if I like going back to the thought process of the character chasing something to feel worthiness, like it's already there. Like, so I see her saying like you already have the person, you don't have to be fearful of it because it's already in you. So you're not really chasing something, you are it. So it goes back to that imposter syndrome too as well.
So that she catches that glimmer to see you, to see
Mhm.
you, the good stuff in you,
Yeah.
and see the shell. Hmm.
Um, Richard, do you have the script up, that scene with Dorothy coming out into the audience? What does she exactly say?
You still carrying? You still carrying everybody?
Yeah. So the weight of carrying. And for Stark, what is she seeing in him?
Dark. You still trying to figure everything out?
And then John Mark.
Do what everybody needs.
Hmm.
Say it again.
You're
You're still being what
yeah,
everyone
you're still
everybody
being what
needs.
everybody needs. Yeah.
So she's talking about the tiredness, but not your physical tiredness, Tanel, right?
Correct. Yeah. Hmm.
Then she telling Paul Anthony, she speaks to the weight that he's carrying
Hmm.
of people, that false obligation, false responsibility, that heroian mentality, so to speak. I got to be there for everybody else. I got to pick everybody else up. Da, 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 da.
Hmm.
And then for Stark, you still trying to figure everything out. And then John Mark still being what everybody needs. Y'all see the y'all see the connectiveness between y'all characters? Do
Not
you
Well,
between not between the men, not between the characters themselves, but also I do see the foreshadowing that's placed in these initial questions.
okay? And what's the foreshadowing?
Oh, literally the overthinking. So John John Mark is being called out for his ability, for his usefulness, which he thinks is his best skill and attribute. And then literally challenging the leadership ability of Paul Anthony, which is like almost surprising to him to be called a leader when he tries to do his best to be that. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
re it's a validation that you don't have to do, you just need to be. You know what I'm saying? And that same kind of ability once we go down that road. Um, and the
That was
overthinking
good.
is
You
easy.
don't have to do. Oh my God, that was good. I was trying to figure out what was their dynamic, and I think that's it. You don't have to do, you just have to be.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out John Mark's dynamic of what or how he would, because him and Paul Anthony are, I would say, the most
Alike.
connected people. And I
Yeah.
Hmm.
think the scene that we're working on is really a really good scene.
Hmm.
Is kind of get that because I think like yeah, like you said, like where John Mark feels like he has to. I think he's used to
Hmm.
being what everybody's needing. He's used to having that pedestal and being a leader, and he might be successful in that. He's been successful in that, but
Hmm.
also I think that also he has a thing where if he's not being used, he can be
Yeah.
sometimes look at himself as useful, like not useful, like
Useless, yeah.
sometimes. And that's something where I can relate to in real life where I do a lot of stuff. But sometimes
Hmm.
when it's down moments, I can start to get thoughts of like, oh, maybe I'm just not the person I think I am, not any help unless I'm doing something, which can add a lot of pressure and you're forcing it. So when he's not picked to be the leader, somebody else is, that's when that conversation and dynamic starts to get ruffled. Yeah.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Who are you when you're
You can,
not performing?
right,
Right,
Hmm.
right.
right,
That false narrative of we're only as good as the last thing we did. We're only as good as what
exactly.
somebody says we are. It's only as good as can I jump in here a second? Because my son just turned 21 and
Hmm.
he is struggling with all of that. Mom, if I'm not this and if I don't make a lot of money and make sure you're gonna be fine and all and like
Hmm.
and what I one day I had this thing with him and I'm like, baby, you are who you are. You're like water. You are the water. Water is the same if it's coming down from the sky in little raindrops or in a little stream or a lake or an ocean or a river, a raging, rushing river, dumping thousands of gallons of water over Niagara Falls. You're still the water.
That'll
What
preach.
the water does
Hmm.
is not who you are. You are
Hmm.
not what you do. You are who you are. You are the water.
Hmm.
That's good stuff. So here you guys are in the audience, just amongst the audience, and here she comes,
Hmm.
and it's like for me, these questions is bringing some things to the forefront, some bringing some revelation. So how do you think your body? How would your body feel when you hear that statement,
Mm,
Tanel? What's happening in your body?
Mine is actually identifying the the burden I carry. When I recognize it, and I'm like, more than I realized, more than I thought is the response. It's like I wasn't even focused on my burden. I was just too busy surviving. And so I was like, okay, now that you're telling me I'm tired, okay, yeah, more than I thought. So
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to that, it's just more so of like, hey, she helped me to self assess. And then that's kind of like she sees me, allows me to open.
mm,
So physically,
Mm-hmm.
we go back to the you're stiff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even in the
Yeah.
shadow, you're stiff. And
Mm-hmm.
then when she hits the you tired,
Mm-hmm.
it's almost like a you're stiff, but it's almost like I don't know, like a light bulb went off kind of
mm,
deal. Like a
Aha
light bulb
moment.
went off kind of deal, and then you can
Mm-hmm.
almost look at your like let's look around, but like look at yourself kind of deal
Mm-hmm.
and see how like feel how tense you are, and then kind of not all the way because you're not healed yet, but like
Mm-hmm.
slightly like loosen yourself up slightly and then say more
Mm-hmm.
than I thought. That's where the exhale comes in. That's when you exhale, you just slightly like loosen it up and be like more than I thought. you know,
Okay.
just to get the different dynamic of being stiff, and then some for her triggering something, and then some slight change, you know.
So
Just
then
the
how,
just expressing that in my shoulders, basically, kind of more
Uh,
so. Yeah.
yeah.
and
So go ahead, my bad, Jackie. Go ahead.
no, go ahead. I can.
So yeah, I would say definitely like in the shoulders, yeah, in the shoulders and more, yeah, in the shoulders going down, and then your eyes play a part too because everybody's looking at you, and
Hmm.
especially in this place. So when it's
Yeah.
your turn, everybody looking dead at you. So your eyes
Hmm.
play a part too of looking around, like you're in figuring out your head nodding or head
Hmm.
moving, and eyes looking around,
Hmm.
and that exhale can be very apparent. And your shoulders can like go down,
Hmm.
you know, but then you also can still keep. And this comes with like when you just practice on your own. For it might seem weird, but you just like literally just practice it around doing that, going from like tense to like 50%, where you can just go in like a little. You're not letting it all loose. Where you're like slouching is all loose because that's not where
Hmm.
you're at right now. But you're just going a little bit, and then you can just examine yourself of like, oh, I've been tense for a while. So yeah, something like that.
And what I
For
was going
sure.
to say next, after you do that, then you are being invited to go up to the stage.
Hmm.
Um, I think at first I have Dorothy in the audience. They have now built, it's kind of like the choir director. It's like a round circle. They done add it to the stage
Hmm.
that brings it out more. Instead of her coming out into, will it be more impactful for her to be out in the audience to get them, or can she be on this character up on this stage in that choir director's uh part?
I think it's better on the stage where we have the focal point of her, and then she leads the men out, basically of essentially of hiding. But yeah.
So
Um.
I was gonna have dancers bring you all up.
Hmm.
What do you think, Richard and Demetrius?
Okay, so the first original idea is that they're in the crowd,
Yeah, the guys are scattered in the crowd.
and then sorry, where's the venue at? What are we doing this? If I've been,
Harmony Project,
I don't think I've been there, but okay, it's fine. So they're
next,
in the crowd.
Northland Performing Arts up north
Okay,
by
okay.
Alpha Morse Road, Jamrock.
Um, and she comes in the crowd. But with the, I like, creatively, I like it. But I think maybe the stage just for like lighting, maybe it might be better on the stage.
Yeah.
But you can get the
Hmm.
lighting and do a spotlight on everybody. That'd be fine. But
Right.
if not, then the stage would be probably just be better. Then a focus lighting on each person. You know?
But you can
Yeah.
see the light can be on her, and there still can be a spotlight on the guys when she call out
Right.
their name.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, we could play both ways and see what it looks like.
And you can, I
Dimitri,
must say, you can play around with it too because even if you want to you can still keep it in different ways because say Tanel's like farther away, not out of sight, but like maybe farther away. And then, like you said, with Meech's character, maybe he's more upright in the middle, like he's right there, and stuff like
hmm.
this. So there's still ways to play on the stage too. So yeah,
So be thinking about how do I want to walk on this stage? Because
Hmm.
this is how you're going to be till you get free.
Hmm.
Okay. Demetrius. I mean Paul.
You asked me to comment on the what I think about the her walking out or the dancers, or also my emotion of my character.
Both.
Okay.
Um,
Um,
her coming out or her staying. I say I like this new spot they got on the stage.
uh, I I think it works either way. I think the biggest thing is how we want to pull attention because then the dancers coming out, obviously the attention will be on us, but then if she's still speaking, that can pull people's attention to either way. And it could be powerful with her coming out and we get that intimate attention right there because she's speaking to you. And I personally seen it in my head. If it's possible, I would personally want her to come out just because it's more intimate. The other way, it feels like an altar call to me. The other way, which we can, it still gives
Oh, Brother Paul,
yeah,
you.
yeah. It feels like a come up here and talk to us. But like, and then I feel like it's stronger too as well if she were to come out if we have the spotlights because again it just creates that intimacy and it's like she's looking at you like she found you so it's not more so
Correct.
pointing you out it's like hey I'm specifically coming to talk to you as if like going back in the church state because we all been there when somebody has a prophetic word
Right.
they usually come to you and say, hey, God's been
Yeah.
talking about this, and they're directly talking to you. Everything gets spaced out, but then that also draws everybody into you as well. So I
No.
think I would like it when she comes out. We still have the dancers, but it just creates more intimate vibe when she comes up. As far as going into character expression, uh, sorry, let me go back in because I got the script right here. I think that weight comes from like it to show more of the internal conversation of especially like he's coming off just like somebody got to and then that second thought comes in it's like at least that's what I keep telling myself like and you can show that way through the
Mm.
emotion of the words but also that contemplation of like, hold on, maybe because even with this one, it's still that battle in between. Like, I think I am, but now I'm questioning I am. So the
Mm.
show that in the emotion of the standing and the contemplation through the words too as well.
I think who playing Dorothy, Miss Jackie?
Monet.
The Monday who? Sorry.
James,
Uh,
James.
Monet
Oh,
James.
Mojay. Oh, okay, yeah,
Oh, you
okay,
was in the play with.
yeah, like, okay, man, okay, cool, cool. I'm about to say because definitely, I think for his, but like he said, I think I agree. Definitely, everything he said, I think that's definitely perfect. I think when like he said, when Paul Anthony answers like almost automatically, you still care everybody. Somebody got to. That's more. He hasn't like it's more of an automatic. Like somebody got to. Like it's automatic, not deeper, but like you said, automatic. And then,
That
but I
leads
think
back.
even when Dorothy, after he says it automatically, Dorothy can even give a look of not saying anything, but giving them a look of just like, all right, are you sure? And then that's what makes
You
him think
sure?
about
Mm-hmm.
everything else. Oh, that's good. Though.
Yeah.
I know Mom's in here. Oh, nice, nice, nice.
Yeah. No, and I like Meech when you're thinking about that. That goes back to that sports analogy. You know what I mean? Putting the team on my back type deal.
Mm.
Like no, the coach
Um.
didn't have to ask you or anything else like that. You know that your team he like is gonna happen through me and with me. Um, and as Monet goes through, as Dorothy goes through, it definitely would be nice if she interacted with the crowd, like waved at a couple people as she's kind of like Rich said, like she's looking for the people out there, like my, and then kind of finding the people that she
Mm.
needs all along her journey. Um, and
Oh, I
segue
like
in
that.
that. Yeah, just that engagement
Yeah,
with the crowd would be
yeah,
definitely
Yes.
really big. And she has a great smile and personality where she could be a Disney character if she needed to be. So I feel
Mm-hmm.
like she can, invoke that and kind of get the crowd looking around and they're looking around at each other, trying
Like,
to
is
figure
she
out who
coming to
the
talk to me?
yeah, exactly.
mhm.
Yeah.
Well, if there were like a couple of like shills in the crowd, she was like walked by and like, hey, and you jump up and give a hug, and the shill would then
Yeah.
come in.
Hmm.
That'd be good. That makes the crowd, that makes the audience feel like they are part of the play.
Exactly.
Okay. This is so good, guys. I'm trying to keep my composure. Before we move on, any other comments about what we just covered, the prelude, Dorothy's invitation, what needs to be happening in our bodies?
Um, I the position of uh Khalif as John Mark, I was thinking that one might be even more impactful to have him like up near by the stage, like behind a curtain. You know what I mean? It's kind of like pulling them out from like putting on the show versus where we have them like positioned in the back of the audience. You know what I mean? Where it's like you always want to be in the mix. So it's like, hey, let me pull you out of that, like almost dang near taking his headset off, like from a production standpoint.
Mm,
Oh, wow.
that's cool.
Okay. Okay. Um, I do have him standing off.
Mm,
Uh, he's not in the off audience, so to speak.
mm,
He is standing off.
mm,
Oh, I like that. I like that
mm,
position.
mm.
Thank you.
Of
Richard,
course.
any
I was gonna ask Tanel, like when, sorry, let Tanel,
Good.
yeah. Ask
Good.
Tanel, when, so we got down pike of like the first initial question.
Mm,
What do you think you should do when she offers the hand and then like that whole accepting little
mm.
sequence?
That's that kind of timidness or reserve. You know what I mean? Just I literally wrote down, Rich, how am I moving? I want to be stiff, but not hit the robot all the time. So it's more so about figuring out. I want to work with you in reference to my movement, to make sure it display, is displayed right.
No,
But
100%, yeah.
yeah, but how I'm doing it, like, or I'm thinking about emotionally from that standpoint of how I'm accepting her hand or the dancer's hand in that sense
Hmm.
is reserved. Because when you told me about that, I'm thinking about that line as looking around before I answer. Like, you know what I mean? And so when I get to that, before I'm talking about, that sigh of relief, you know what I mean? Or just that acceptance of the tiredness. I think that that's more of that reserve, like, who am I going with and who is this? All right, I'm gonna
Mm.
go along with it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Reluctant, but
No, definitely, yeah.
mhm,
is that where you were thinking the way he should go?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Okay. Uh, I and how does he do that sigh of relief and it not be over exaggerated, but just like he been waiting to exhale, like more than I thought,
mhm,
Yeah, I might say, yeah, I mean, I don't think it has to, like you said, I don't think it has to be too exaggerated. I think it all comes with, yeah, like you said, like that, even that, I don't know, it comes, I think when you do it, even when you do it in real life, I think we just have that like sense of just the shoulders come down and just, yeah, like we just did. Like I think when it focuses on you, I think it's going to, of course, we need more, I guess, for the theater, but I think it doesn't have to be like a, like it don't have to be all,
No,
like
you're right.
it can be
Right.
real, it can be real
Right.
simple, and then also even like I always call them like ticks of even like maybe a hand on the head or
Mm.
something where you just like rub and then say
mhm.
the line,
Yeah.
where it gives that like your just it gives more of the thinking, like you're thinking more and you're more
Mhm,
aware of your body now
mhm,
compared to
for
when you're just on
sure.
autopilot of just trying to console these emotions and now somebody made you think about your body and if you're tired and things like that because now you're more self-aware. So just being more self-aware of
Mhm,
your body
Yeah,
and
because
all
he's
that.
saying more like he has like a ha like, wow, more than I thought. Yeah, you are,
mhm.
yeah, making that connection.
Mhm.
Demetrius, anything from the prelude to the invitation?
No, no, I don't have anything specifically.
Okay. Um, okay, can I go home with you? So what happens here is you guys are on the stage.
Mhm.
She got everybody on the stage now. She's over to the side in her bag. That's where looking at her letters. This is where y'all voiceovers come in at.
Mhm.
Y'all walking back and forth. Um,
So
what's
they're acting out the words, right?
yeah,
Oh, okay.
that's my train of thought.
Mhm.
So, because they recorded in a way so they had time to walk back and forth.
Mhm.
Oh, makes sense.
Okay, so I'll hit you first, Demetrius, because you were saying you were seeing it how the way you re-recorded it, seeing yourself going from one part of the stage to the other. What does that look like now?
Um, is it? I still have that. It's hard for me to explain. I'll try to explain my best. But honestly, the same way how I was saying I was rehearsing in voiceover, I have that so much space of walking back and forth. It's not a heavy pacing. It's a casual, as if like as if somebody's in the room giving themselves a pep talk, more
Mhm.
so. So it's still I'm not heavy on myself, but I'm questioning myself. If that makes any sense in the explanation that I'm
Yeah,
giving.
because you have so he's in this sense, the lion is showing a little vulnerability to ask her, can he go home with her? So it's like, wait a minute, is this what I really want to do?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because then also like if going back off of my lines, I want to go home with her because I feel like I need help, but then also I'm telling myself I don't need help. Like so, and I'm just going off of
Yeah.
what we got written down. So I'm in my head,
Mhm.
I'm like, I want to go home with her because we've been on this journey. I'm safe with her. Like this was a great. She helped us tremendously, but then I still have the old me saying like, I don't need no help. Like I don't. I really can survive on my own. Like I'm good. I've been through worse. But then even like bringing up that courage to even ask, can I go home? It's like, dang, do I really want to do that? Or even then, what does that even look like if I go home with her? Can
Mhm.
I actually be able to flourish out
Mhm.
there or not? So where do I go essentially? So
Hmm.
Super conflicted,
yeah.
like at that, like a precipice moment, like when we last met, and I told you that I was in psychoanalytic psychotherapy, and my therapist was going to fire me. And I thought,
Uh-huh.
okay, good Lord, this is like she's blindfolded me and tied my hands behind my back, and she wants me to step off 1,000-foot cliff. Like,
Mhm.
seriously,
Yeah.
this is what you want?
Yeah.
Smile while I'm doing, sort of like that kind of a, ooh, I don't know what to expect here, but please, somebody, I need
Yeah.
something. I can't keep living like this anymore. I can't sustain.
Yeah. Yeah. And I
So what
agree.
is happening in the body then?
And you saying that. It's anxiety in terms of like
Mm-hmm.
the restlessness. Like and
Mm.
again going back to the line of wrestling feels dangerous. It's almost like it I used to tell people in the past like sometimes you have two choices, but if you don't make a choice, that's a third choice, and you're still making the
Yeah,
choice.
yeah,
So essentially, you're standing still, not wanting to choose either or, but you escape yourself from both choices. And now you did make a choice, which doesn't mean it was the best choice, but that choice has effects too as well. And going back to the verbiage of resting feels dangerous. If I don't make a choice, it feels wrong. It feels like something's going to happen. So I need to get up and do something. I have to do either or I'll be stuck in this torment of
yeah, yeah,
what
yeah,
do I do still?
yeah.
Okay.
And that's real. That's really real.
So waiting on Clarence to come back.
I'm
Richard,
here. I'm
what?
here. I'm
Oh,
here. Just because I'm not present, don't mean I'm not here. You got
you know what?
visitors.
You're gonna be the clown no matter what.
Oh yeah, my family know that. You
Um,
realize it too. See, I
what?
ain't been acting, but I act up.
Terrence, you and I are two peas in a pod. Oh my gosh.
I know. I know.
So from your
Voiceover
voiceover,
for
yeah,
sure.
what's happening in your body? I mean, like how
So
you
mine, I thought about it interpreted as an affirmation. You know what I mean? Not positive, but it's a negative affirmation of survival. You know what I mean? Where
okay.
it's like you first telling yourself to do the survival instincts, go on. I mean, go alone, put the armor back on. And then that reflective, the armor gets heavy when nobody's watching. So at that moment, my body, I'm looking around at everybody else as I take this stiffness back again.
Mm.
Yes. Do you know that emotional stress is as exhausting, like high level emotional stress is as exhausting as if you are running chronic marathons?
Mm,
It takes
Mm-hmm.
that much out. So when you feel that exhaustion,
mm-hmm,
and because our neurological system is in that fight or flight, and we lay down these pathways that are overused, and we lose the the use of our prefrontal cortex. And that's the kind of stuff that's like, oh, wait, there's actually other alternatives. Oh, I actually have greater agency than I thought that I did. Oh, there are certain things that really have been beneficial to me, hard won, or there are people in my life that I might be able to connect with in meaningful ways that I would,
mm-hmm,
right? And so because you were talking earlier about, like the exhaustion and thinking about exhaustion. And so I just want to give some like real physiological, psychological, emotional context of why
mm-hmm.
it's so exhausting.
And you were referring that to Tanel?
Yeah,
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, because I'm tired. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Um, Richard, do you understand the need for this scene? For them to
Oh
have
yeah, mhm.
this conversation?
100%. Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
I was thinking about today, but I think, oh no, I definitely agree. I even like when you get stiff and stuff like that. I think,
Mm-hmm,
yeah, I like it. I was thinking it might be a little bit too far, but I was just thinking I don't know. When he says to go along, put the armor back on,
mm-hmm,
I was thinking, yes, affirmation that you've been doing, but then also this I don't know, you're like recharging the stoic things back because you let a little bit down and
mm-hmm.
you're almost like ashamed that you even let it down a little bit. So you have to re get it back. And it almost comes with a little bit of like a little bit of self-hate. So it's like almost like a more angrier, not too angry, more
Mm.
angrier, go alone. And then I was thinking more, and not mind if this is this idea. I was thinking more like put the armor back on, more like a beating you, like maybe a beat to the chest type, like more of
Mm-hmm.
like go
Yeah.
like put the armor back on. Then that could
Mm-hmm.
also go into the heavy breathing and the beat of when but the armor gets heavy. And then I like how you did like the looking around when nobody's watching type
Mm-hmm.
deal. So more like that's why that's just a
Mm.
No, definitely. That adds it into it. That's more that manliness, you know what I mean? That representation of, you know what I mean? Be tough, suck it up.
Oh, uh-huh.
That's really good.
That's a good connection.
Mhm,
That's a good connection.
mhm.
Okay. So y'all done did the voiceovers are played. Y'all done walk back and forth. Y'all
That's
showed the
crazy.
energy.
What if I put the armor back on and put sunglasses on?
Ooh.
Oh.
You feel me? Just reach out my pocket and, put the
Mm.
but
Because okay, so then in the
mhm.
audience you took them off before you
I
went
never
up.
had them on. Yeah. That's just kind of like,
Uh,
yeah, like, oh yeah, I showed too much already. All right, let me go further deeper and put my armor back on as a physical representation of, your eyes are the windows to the soul. You know what I mean? So if
Mhm.
I block that, then how do you really understand how I feel? You can't see I'm tired. You can't even see if I'm awake or not if I got these glasses on. My Tesla driving itself. You know what I mean? So it's just like
Yeah.
so many ways. Like, yeah, your
oh.
your eyes give that
Oh.
indication.
That's so good. And Rich, what do you
Yeah.
like? I'm just getting this vision of you having the sunglasses on and then
Mm,
out as a prop as you get a
mm,
little less and less guarded. You're like looking
mm.
over and you're taking them off and on and and then you like throw them away or whatever.
Because I no longer need them. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah.
Quetta, you have something?
Yes, I'm so sorry. This was really good. When I heard you say the sunglasses, it automatically brought up trigger to me because
Hmm.
when the prelude starts, those boys with the glasses, right? And then if you're
Hmm.
taking those sunglasses out of your pocket or whatever, for me, something was triggered there. And for me, if I'm listening to it, like I'm connecting it to like, oh, snap, like this is a trigger. So I don't know if that's intentional or not, where the glasses is that moment, like, oh, trigger, boom.
Hmm.
He just
Yeah,
made it. He just
Mhm.
made it a trigger. That's good.
yeah.
That's good. He just made it
Mhm,
one.
That's really good.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
So then she tells each one of you guys no, but not because she's rejecting you, but she refuses to become what only you can become for yourself.
mhm,
You'll continue outsourcing. Because when you think about the Wiz, you guys are really mad at him, but y'all really mad at yourselves because y'all outsourced. Go get my heart, go get my brain, go get blah, blah, blah. And he
mhm,
act like he could do it. Go get my
mhm,
courage.
mhm,
Go get my home. We outsource a lot. We put
Mm.
a lot of we project onto other people what to do for us that we're not willing to do for ourselves. Does that make
mhm.
sense? You with me, Richard?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So is she I said no, she's not rejecting you. So what is she giving you in her no?
She's in reference to the no, it's more so of she's already completed her journey. This is our own. Like I can't do this for you. You know what I mean? And when it gets to that point, it's she gives explanation beyond it. You know what I mean? Um, and it kind of tasks that because with after my rejection, um, she says you've gotten so good at controlling things, you forgot how to feel without it. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
so she's like refusing to be the coping mechanism for all of the characters. You know
Mm.
what I mean? And so that's where I feel like she's leaving us on our own journey. Like, hey, you don't, I can't be that for you.
Anything you want to add, Meech?
I agree with him. I agree with all the statements. How you're saying like it's been outsourced. Essentially, she's basically telling us again to look like it's already there, but you gotta look in within yourself. I can tell you everything you need to do, but if I'm telling you everything you need to do, are you actually doing it for yourself, or are you doing it because you're being led by somebody else? So it's basically creating that a path of going that doing that inner work to pretty much like, hey, you gotta find what makes you happy. Pretty much, you gotta find what sparks you. You can't kind of you can't ride somebody else's coattails. Pretty much, it wouldn't be fulfilling for you if you just followed along with the journey. Because going back to the aspect of everything, everybody was on their own journey, but it was a journey together, but
Mm-hmm.
essentially everybody had to come to their own resolution for their journey. It
Mm.
wasn't a grand like, hey, we all just won the football championship together. It was a hey, this was an individualized journey, almost like an Olympics, but we all came together in an aspect. So that's what I kind of get out of it, is that you got to figure it out for yourself, and not in a spiteful way, but in a hopeful way, not so much as a shut off. It's like a like when your kid gets to a certain age and you gotta let go of their hand. They
Mhm,
can't have training wheels all their life. Essentially, they would never blossom to grow.
mhm.
So it's essentially taking off the training wheels.
Quetta,
Great analogy.
what message is Dorothy giving to women in the audience by telling them no?
That's good.
Stop letting that man borrow your car.
Hey.
That part.
Well, good analogy. No, for real, actually.
That just messed me up. Yeah, I would say the message that she's letting females know is like you're not the end all be all. Stop trying to be. You literally cannot. be. And that's okay. That is okay. Let them be on their journey.
Mhm.
There is a support that you can give, but you have to let them be on their own journey.
That's really good because women get relegated to hold the emotional water,
Mhm.
carry the emotional water. Because, oh, that's a female thing, isn't it?
Mhm.
Mm-mm.
And I think also like I don't know how to say it in the correct way, but I think sometimes women get the like the like some unfortunately sometimes in a literal sense and sometimes just emotionally they become like the punching bag of somebody's unhealed emotions. Like they just get like the blunt of everything. Because like he's like she's saying to all of us more of like men just use them as the outlet and the I don't know, like right, like you said, riding that coattail of getting these emotions off in the way when they really need to heal, and women can't always be that crutch and always be that good
Healed.
thing to lean on. Like they need to be, it's more to lead them into this place of unknown territory, whereas actually healing, actually seeing help, or actually coming and talking to that little boy that you abandoned and things like that. And that can be, I think one of the things I like is, I think for Tanel, is no, not for tonight. It is courage is an absence of fear. It's staying when fear shows up. So it's more like teaching them to sit in that moment, to sit in that pain, and to heal it instead of trying to run away for it or blame anybody else or push it out to someone else. You know. So I think yeah, that's what you're trying to tell all of us.
There's a word I love. It's agency.
Mhm.
And what struck me about Dorothy saying no is it's giving each of these characters potential to tap into their own agency that they didn't know they had
Mhm.
or could even pick up, to integrate emotion into, and vulnerability into all of who they are. And that can be so healthy.
Oh, now break down agency.
When I have agency, I'm not giving up something of myself in order to fill in the blank. I'm
Mhm.
finding and it's not about I have to do it. Have to be strong. I have to be tough. I have the capacity. I'm building the capacity and the capability that I need for my own healing and my own growth because it's my journey. And I have to do it, but I don't have to do it alone. So agency is taking the steps to move into and through that.
So I think Demetrius, thanks, Babs. I think Demetrius hit on it. But why is this scene even here? Why are they asking to go home? Are they really want to go home with her?
Mm.
No, that's the convenience of you know what I'm saying, that it being
Yeah.
enabled, that the way she enabled them to band together as a group of misfits allows, you know what I mean, that spotlight not to be shared and not solely on that person. So when it comes to that point of her leaving, there you go, you have the agency, which I feel like is more like empowerment with accountability.
Yeah, yeah.
um
Yeah.
because you're living with both of those, you're living with the expectation of, if this doesn't go right, and the agency is like, hey, you're responsible whether it goes right or not. That's that choice that Demetrius was talking about. The ever present third option of, if you do nothing, that's still a choice. You know what I mean? So that's that confrontation that they all try to get her to change her mind based off of their own flaws. Because I'm seeing my rejection as, like, I wrote it down for when I'm talking about, I'm not trying to stay long. I'm pointing at Stark, like this mooch, you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to get what I need, you know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And then I just like temporarily I just thought about that charismatic way of just saying, I'm just trying to get myself together, you know what I mean? And then Dorothy kind of shuts that off like, hey, I know what you're trying to do. You know what I mean? And then kind of stopping me in my tracks, and then kind of redirecting that journey, which is giving to what Dr. Babs is saying, agency. You know what I mean?
You better know this character. Okay, I'm about to move from it. But Demetrius, you talked about earlier for the lion, it's like I want help, but then if they say no, that disappointment, that
Oh.
rejection.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mhm.
what's happening in your body when she telling you no? Is that dag, here I go. I put myself out here and now this is I mean, so what's your body gonna say to the audience?
Um, mm, I would probably play with it a little bit because then also at the same time, like I feel like there's a thing of showing too much for the journey. So I could see it as even though she's saying no, like
You'll hide
accepting
the
words, but
disappointment?
trying not to show let it affect you because right now, even then, like if we go back to my lines, it's saying I don't want to pretend I'm good, I don't want to act tough. So I just don't want to go back to the place where I got to keep proving I'm not afraid. Um, so it's not so much as like I'm really just running for myself. It's not so much as I want to go home with her. Her answer ain't even, it don't even matter in this equation. I'm
Mhm.
really just trying
Mm.
to figure out what to do
Mm.
next, pretty much. And that's what I see it as. Because even when I see this wording, I think of like going back to growing up in the hood. You gotta walk down the street with your head held high, whether you feel fearful or not.
Right.
You can't be afraid. So with that being said, I see it as that like I just want to go back to my
Mm,
shell. Like
Mhm.
coming with you allows me to just exist pretty much.
you
Like
better go ahead, boy.
Mhm.
because then I go back to even with what Terrence Clarence was saying. I said Terrence because Tennille is messing me up. But with him, I think about everybody was on the journey to the Wiz.
Mhm.
So nobody really was like brought them together. When they all met, they was all like, "Hey, we was going to the Wiz anyway, so we might as well just tag along with you." And I look at that as more of a symbolism of finding self in like the Wiz was God essentially,
Mhm.
but then God is in you too as well. So you have to find yourself to also experience God to me too as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, one last question for Dorothy. How how
Yeah.
hard is
Yeah.
Q? How hard is this for Dorothy to say no?
I think because she's trying to protect her peace, because she just got her experience of being home, her no is so strong, but it's gentle. Her no is firm. Her no is freedom even for her because she's so used to helping, because she's so used to doing things for people. Her no is powerful.
Mm.
She owns it and she's not making any explanation for it.
Mm.
She's
Mhm.
just letting it sit on these men and they're having to work it out.
Mhm.
That's good.
Mm,
Yeah,
I was going
it's not a mean one. I mean, even just to think
no.
about the yes that she said first, she invited these characters along her journey. You know what I mean? So the
Mhm.
first thing she's been yes all up until this point. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And so that's why that feels like rejection from this person who, I'm like, I'm just getting comfortable with you. You know what I mean? And then the intentionality behind writing a letter for each one of those is like, hey, it's a no, but you know what I mean? My bad, Rich. You got it.
No, you good. I'm about to say this quick for Paul Anthony. I think that also he's the one of the most further aware person of him. Like he's like more advanced emotionally than I think the other ones a little bit. Only because when he says his thing, he says basically what it is. Like he said, I don't want to pretend I'm good. I don't want to act tough. I don't want to go back to the place where I got to keep proving myself I'm not afraid. So he's like, he knows, like he's there, but he just need, I think the no stands for his like, I don't know. It's like I don't know how to explain it. Like so, like we know we should do something, but sometimes we need a little extra little push of like reassurance of like, oh, we need to actually do this, like, or we need
Hmm.
to get to this place. And I think that's what that no stands for. Like that's where it sounds like he's not really going to change much because I think also he knows he's been aware of what's happening and the things around him, what he's been acting like, and everything like that, and what he needs to overcome. I think the no just gives him that more reassurance, like a bittersweet reassurance of like, oh, I'm not hands not going to be held in this. I do this myself.
Mm.
So yeah.
Yeah, it's that outside validation. We all live in some type of validation, whether we're validating ourselves or validating others. And most times, we seek outside validation, whether it's like good or bad, because even that no can push you, even that yell can push you, and it was something that you really needed in that moment, and it just helps you in that validation. So I definitely agree with that.
So how does the mentality of the survival, no, how does the survival mentality from the prelude fit right here in this scene? He putting on his sunglasses,
Hmm.
right? What is Paul Anthony doing?
Do.
Or should be doing?
I don't even think he's honestly. I think this is that glimpse again of like how Richard was saying the far advancedness. This is that where you get to see that opening and that vulnerableness. So it's not so much as what he's doing because it's not putting the glasses back on. This is actually letting everything like I'm like you said, like in the beginning, I'm laying it out. It's like, hey, I'm feeling this way. Like this is what it is. I'm not chasing you. I'm
Hmm.
just telling you what this is right now, and this is how I'm feeling. And this is also
Mm,
that aspect of how we go back to this is new, where this is asking for help in a way, in his own little way. He may not
mhm,
realize it, but this is like I'm trying to see what you can give me. I'm feeling this
mm,
way. I don't know how to really explain it. I'm not fine. But I was thinking I should do this. What do you think about it? Pretty
oh,
much. So it's
okay.
not so much asking. Again, it's not asking. It's like, what do you think I should do in this moment? Like, I don't want to go back here. But I was hoping maybe I could go home with you. But it's really a, what do you think I should do? Because it's not even like he's not flat out saying it. And let me just make sure I'm not like it seems like I'm not asking to stay long just temporarily. Everybody else is basically saying, "Hey, I want to go home with you. Could I go home with you?" This one, when you get to Paul Anthony, it's more so of a I was hoping maybe I could go home with you. So it's still, I
Mm.
know I might not be able to, but I figure I should ask why everybody else is like, hey, I want to go home with you. So I'm going to ask you because this is what I want to do. And that's what I see it.
So I'm glad you brought that up. Before I say this, Richard, your eyes went up in the ceiling. What was you thinking?
I forgot. But I think I think I just had a revelation of like it's probably unrelated. But when the just say how far advanced he is emotionally, I think also Dorothy after his she has like more of a fondness to what's her name? Nietzsche in here. The
Oh,
Oh,
Anthony.
Paul
uh-huh.
Paul
Anthony.
Anthony,
Yeah, she has
Paul
more of a
Anthony,
fondness
yeah.
to Paul Anthony just due to like how much like just due to like I don't know how advanced he is, she knows like he knows what he's supposed to be doing. He just got to
Mhm.
get there. So like and I think that's why he makes. I think without naturally we just came into this point of where she makes him the leader. I forgot like he's the leader.
Mhm.
So I think that comes to it where she makes him the leader because
Yeah.
I think given the other people's responses, they're not there yet. Even with Khalif's character of him trying to act like he is,
Mhm.
I think she sees right through him of him trying to be an a hole of like, oh, you're really
Mhm.
not there. Like you think you're
Mhm.
there, you think I'm not seeing you, but you're really not there, and that's why you're not the leader.
Mhm.
But he got it though. But Paul Anthony got it. He just has
Mhm.
to get there, and I think that's why he
Mhm.
leads everybody else.
Mhm.
Yeah, I agree with that wholeheartedly, Richard, because
Oh,
I'm going back to John's answer, and he's saying, and before you say no, I already know the answer. And it's like, if you already know the answer, then
Yeah,
say no. Why are you even
yeah.
asking? So you don't really know the answer, really, because you still have that hope where you are a little bit delusional, a little
And
bit.
I do see Khalif as being more performative, if that makes
Mhm.
sense. I think
Mhm.
he plays. It's funny it's Khalif, but I think he plays more of a not. But I mean, kind of like a little bit over the top more than the other three, just because he has that snarkiness to him of like I already know what's going to be and everything like that, and like he's like things. It is just more performative. I think that's where he
yes.
stands out, and I think it's
Mhm.
where it's just he's
Mhm.
performative, and then she sees through him. She doesn't really give him what he wants, but
Exactly.
yeah,
And so I'm glad you both brought up John Mark Khalif, and then Clarence had already brought up what he's how he's going to be messing with Stark. You know, but me over here.
Mhm.
So
Still a little
engage in each
tired.
other. How does that, engage in each other?
Hmm.
Because the three of you all, Stark, Tennille, and Paul Anthony, y'all are a unit.
Hmm.
Y'all ain't really fooling with the Wiz right like
Hmm.
that right
Yeah,
now. Okay.
sure.
Uh, any
Uh, I think I didn't get a chance to speak about how that relates to this scene here, about the prelude to how it gets to here. I think that just Tennille asking to stay and kind of minimizing the burden of staying, or just kind of, is a coping mechanism exhibited yet again. You know what I mean? First is the glasses. Now it's the ability to be like, hey, I know you probably don't want me around, but you're not even gonna notice me for real. I'm just gonna be over here to the side. You know what I mean? And so
Oh,
I think this is kind of minimizing yet again, making yourself small to not, rock the boat, so to speak.
that's really good. That's really good. All right. This I keep saying is really good, but this is really good. Are y'all enjoying this?
Oh yeah.
Babs, anything you want to say from the prelude up until now?
You rock, man. You just rock. This is so cool. I don't really have anything.
I think it's rocking for me because it's mental health, and that's where I flow.
Me too.
So I'm
But,
all in all these deep questions in my head. All
yeah,
right, the letter. What do y'all think the letter represents? I know y'all know it's a part of the safe place, and that's where it gets exposed. But in this moment, she done told you no. Do you really want a letter from her?
For me, I was holding on to it for my character as I even sniffed the letter in my mind. Like, you know what I mean? I'm
Mm.
holding on to the relationship that I've had. You know what I mean? Because now
Oh.
you finally got a person who actually sees you for who you are. Now they're separating because of their own reasons, but it feels like, then goes to the next scene, talk about abandonment. You know what I mean? Talking about who
Hmm.
knew freedom could be abandonment. You could be, abandonment at first. You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
so when it comes to that, it's like that letter is something that he's clinging on to. He needs he just another bit of Dorothy would be just keeping her in around.
yeah. There's a concept in psychology called that is about constant object. It's
Hmm.
something that represents somebody else. And there was a woman that um, my supervisor worked with that was very disturbed. And my supervisor went on vacation for 2 weeks.
Hmm.
And we were talking about that case, and she was concerned that this woman might decompensate and go into psychosis if she
Mm,
to just not be there. And so literally the session that she had with this woman before she went on vacation for 2 weeks, and the woman could only look at her shoes. She would always look at her shoes. She couldn't look her in the face. And so what she was given my supervisor took off one of her shoes and gave it to her to have that and hold that for those 2 weeks
Hmm.
while she was gone. And that comforted her. It was like the hope of, oh, okay, I'm going to be okay. And you're going to be
Hmm.
back. And
Hmm.
this is okay. Right. So that
Hmm.
letter can be like that.
Yes, very perfect. Tanel, you keep that in your head, and this is why when John Mark, when you pass it to him and he intentionally misses it and it falls, it
Ooh,
Hmm.
pisses you off, but you don't
Yeah.
say anything. But it
Hmm.
pisses you off. You just give him a look, because what? Why would you do that? I've cherished my whole letter, and you just let this
Right.
lady's letter fall to the ground, and she's just trying to help us.
Exactly.
it's
You find a way to look at him.
Hmm.
You give that expression of like, why, like what? What are you doing? Like, what is like, what is it?
Right.
You know, and I love how, cause
the
yeah,
picture. What's the big deal?
Right.
yeah,
Is precious. This is precious.
exactly.
Holding on for my dear life with this thing.
Hmm.
And you being petty,
Hmm.
basically.
Mm.
Mm. So what do you think she's off? I like what you said, Clarence, a lot. So, uh, Aquetta, why doesn't Dorothy explain everything? Why does she just give them the letter?
Boss, I'm so sorry. Real quick, I don't.
Yeah.
Either I missed it. Can Aquetta introduce herself? Or did I miss it?
She did not. She did not. She was in the
Oh,
back.
okay. Well, but I didn't
I
know.
didn't even know she had a voice
Oh,
I didn't
she's
know.
the
until
I didn't know who
Jackie
she
brought her.
was. I was like,
she's the
I don't know who Miss Aquetta is.
she's the dance. I told you she was the dance coordinator. I'm sorry.
Oh, my
Oh,
bad. Okay,
I ain't know. I ain't know. I ain't know. What?
my bad.
Q, can you get on so they can see your face?
Sorry, I got I got babies running after me. Yes, give me one second.
Okay, I'll throw it to Babs so you come back.
Mhm.
She said no. It
Mhm.
wasn't rejection. It was for responsibility.
Mhm.
She's continuing with this movement. Why doesn't Dorothy explain everything, Babs?
Sorry. And that could be taken a whole bunch of different ways.
She gave them the letter. She didn't go into blah 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 blah.
Because she's not a
Said
man and she doesn't need to mansplain.
she what?
Because she's not a man and she doesn't feel the need to mansplain.
Mhm.
Mansplain.
Mhm.
Being cheeky.
Does it leave some mystery for the audience and the guys?
Well, sure. It's like,
Because
okay,
she's saying
so
read it. She's saying read it when you need it or in your safe place.
yeah, so it evokes all kinds of things. It evokes, what does this mean? What does this mean for me? What's in this? Is this good? Is this bad? Is this like what do I do with it?
But
Why
why is she not
should
explaining it?
now? What's the secret? There's some secret here. Maybe this is some special something that's just for me and not everybody else to hear. Like what?
Why do you think, listen to the question, why do you think she's not explaining the letter?
Because she wants to leave it open for their own interpretation. Of,
There you go. Instead of trying to control,
yeah, it's back to agency.
Mhm.
there we go.
Mhm.
There we go. Thank you. You see how I had to work through that?
You see how she gave you agency?
She did. But that's therapy process, like the curious and the curious, and then
Yeah,
curious, right? Like, ooh,
yeah. And
you
that's
that,
and
that
that's
maybe,
been the vein I've been in with clients to be more curious than judgmental.
right? And I,
Thank you, Rich, for that. I appreciate that because I am viewing the letter as a gift, and he looking at it as rejection already. You already leaving. What the heck am I getting? What you giving me something for? Go ahead, leave.
What does the
That part.
letter represent to you, Demetrius?
Um, I don't know. And I'm answering that and as the character too as well because I know she leaving. She said the leader, but I don't know what the expectation that comes with that. I it's still that sense of do I want to leave because of the failure aspect. So really, I think when I get the letter, I'm more so um, things is just happening. She's leaving. I don't even process that really. Like I just know she got a letter, and I'm still in the forefront of the anxiety of what now. Like how
Mm,
I don't
you ain't
I
anything
what
about it.
do I don't yeah, like here I go with this letter, but now like what's next? Before we had a journey where we all were on a good association of hey, we're going to the Wiz. We all know where we're going. Now it's a what are we doing? Like and I'm supposed to be the leader like, what am I? What do I
Mm,
do with that? Like,
mm,
what? So, like, how I'm having those conversations right now, I'm rippling on. I'm actually like, what does that look like? What is that? So it's all those thoughts happening. So I accept the letter because then the other thing is that she gives me the letter last. Everybody else gets their letters
mm.
where they get handed to them by who is it? Stark hands them the letters, or
We pass them
yeah,
down.
they
Like
pass them
she
out. But
mhm.
she doesn't pass my letter to anybody else. She comes directly to me, and it's still a like, what's
Mm,
this aspect? So so I'm confused. I'm scared, confused,
yeah,
uh,
yeah,
grateful,
yeah.
but it's all those in one, and I don't know
Ooh,
which one to pick in the moment. So that's all
ooh,
happening uh, at once.
ooh.
Is there a piece of, like, I wonder if there's a piece of like a tiny bit of resentment. Like it's like, what now? What now is more like curious. And then I wonder if you don't feel like now what? Like really? Now what?
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
You were put in
yeah,
a position of having to do more of like you're feeling maybe you're having to do more of the same. You have to lead. You have to be in this, like, why is she putting you in that position when you
yeah,
want to not have to do that all the time?
yeah,
But
yeah.
then but when you read the next, when you go into the next scene, you kind of like, wow, she made me the leader though.
So it's both
Yeah,
ends, right?
yeah. So
It's
it's,
that duality that's
I was getting
still
ready to
happening
say,
because I still think of it like, and if we're still going off the portrayal from Wiz, the line was scared, but then he was the one that was able to find the pathway to the Wiz too as
Right?
well. So they needed him, and he didn't even realize they needed him. So he had that roar, but then also he was scared of that roar too as well. So I see it
mm,
as again that duality of grateful to be the leader. It's like a wow, you chose me. Like, dang,
Yeah.
that's dope. I ain't never really been chosen. I've always been expected. But then now that if I go
mm.
off of that just thought pattern of oh, I've never been chosen, I've always been expected. Now that word triggers of where like, oh my gosh, I'm expected to do something. Like how am I what am I gonna do? How am I'm expected to lead these men. Then on top of that, I'm expected to lead also the Wiz, who's also like how am I taking his position pretty much? Like how do I lead somebody that essentially was above me at one point, but was never really above me? We were on the same totem pole, but
Mm,
I looked at him as above me. So now there's all those thoughts racing at
mm.
once.
And so
Good.
what I was
Yeah,
hearing when
he
you said
understands
that
it
in the,
first.
oh, say it again.
I think he understands her purpose first. You know what I mean? Within this context of confusion he's having, it's more so about self-identifying the voice he already knows. Like Rich said, he's already I deduced everything about his feelings when before asking this question. And then if everybody's getting the letters, we wondering what's in the letters, what's going on. And then the next thing he's talking about, she trusted us. You know what I mean? So he's like, all right. we're gonna follow what she gave us because she is Dorothy. Who are we talking about? This is Dorothy. She loves us. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yeah. So it's just like everybody else's mind is everywhere else. Overthinking now comes back for start. Now I'm back into my reserved nature. I don't even want to interact with them, especially after having a conflict with John Mark in the last scene. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
we all distrust the wizard because he's been lying. The Wiz, he's been lying to us the whole time. So when it comes to that, I think you're slowly dipping yourself into that leader pool, but you're still leading us emotionally in that same moment because you're like, okay, I'm not gonna fight the process. I'm gonna trust the process. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And I think that that's kind of where you take that. This next scene is where you take your first step into leadership, whether you realize it or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
that's
isn't that
what I'm about to get to. Yeah.
the integration?
Yeah.
So
Is-
again, my bad.
I was just, I was just saying, isn't that the first step to integration,
Mhm.
like emotional integration?
Yeah. Oh
Which
my God.
helps us.
Rich, man, you put it there, boy. I didn't even know he had it
Right.
all together at the beginning. I'm like, message? I'm like, he do. He know it.
No, definitely. So I was go. But Miss Jackie, are you want to keep going on or no?
No, I think we talked about the letter. Did I have
Mhm,
enough? Is there more questions on that?
Oh, I was gonna say scene three, or
mhm,
or did you want to do that the next one? I was about to talk when
mhm,
she leaves, or we'll do that the
mhm.
next one.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
scene
I'm
three.
sorry.
Yep. Yep.
Oh,
I'm
I'm
with
sorry.
you.
I was real quick because I gotta get off in a little bit, but I was gonna do it real quick for just like my thoughts on that because I think that's a very, like you said, it's very pivotal. So I start with Tanel. So with Tanel, like when because the thing's very precious to you, it's just very precious, right? But it's
Mhm,
also a sense of we're going back to the little boy in a sense where you're not in like a crush sense. When she gives you this, because I see we're dancing with her, we're having a time with we're
mhm,
having a time with Dorothy before she leaves, right?
mhm,
So when you cherish this letter, she gives you this letter, she's the person that sees you finally. It's
mhm,
almost in a sense of like a crush type of deal, like a this woman or
mhm,
this woman is like she sees me, gives me happiness, also gave me this
mhm,
letter I cherish very dearly,
mhm,
and also you have this time, dance, have a good time, so you're elated, for
mhm,
you're definitely having a grand time with this dance, but then also she disappears and it's
mhm.
silence, and that's where the heartbreak and the little boy kind of comes out of you, and that's
Exactly.
where I believe that when so Stark makes a joke immediately. So this is the
Mhm,
part where we act like we knew this was coming.
mhm,
You don't even hear it. Like you don't
mhm.
even hear or react to his joke.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm,
not even that. Like not even a hand. Like you're fully locked in wherever she goes and leaves and
mhm,
goes to the darkness, you're
mhm,
locked into that darkness in this
mhm,
letter. So like it's like
mhm.
letter, darkness. Like you're like going back and forth between that, right?
Right.
And that's when
Mm-hmm.
it hits really harder when you're said like everybody else, she didn't even look back. And even if you wanted, we can try it. Even if when she's leaving and she's going out,
Mhm,
if you want to like a little stutter step to even like think you want to like like a like a like
Mm-hmm.
like you're not even saying it,
yeah.
but it's
Go
almost like
after
a
her.
like
Mm,
you want to say you didn't say bye, like you didn't say bye, like you didn't
Right.
say bye, you just left me. And so that's
Mhm.
where when she does leave, that's when you look, and this is where you feel me.
Oh, that's me as a
You're gonna be an
kid.
amazing actor by the end of this,
That's
Clarence.
that's so
Where
funny
this
because
is
when it
where
was time to go, I was trying to hide. I was like, oh, I'm
right,
staying at grandma's house.
right. So this is
Dude,
where you get that. That's where you start
yeah.
to, as an actor,
Mm,
pull that emotion out of you. Like you
mm,
pull, like you're pulling, not full on crying,
mm,
but you're full on like it's happening. Like you pull, like when your eyes start get the watery,
mm,
feeling it, and that's when
Hey, we gotta eat something before ice cream. Oh, my bad.
when you fully get into that, and then that's where you can start going at your letter, like everybody else who left,
mm,
she didn't even
mm,
look back.
mm,
And of course, Paul Anthony's giving me that reassurance of like
mm,
she didn't leave, and she trusted us.
mm,
I just don't know yet, but you're still in
mm.
that because
Yeah.
you're still in it.
Yeah.
And you can be looking at your letter, you can be looking at the darkness because you're looking at this. She left, like she gone, And that's when every line of yours is very pivotal because that's when it's like nobody ever told me freedom could feel like abandonment first, and your voice cracks. So
Exactly.
you're getting more emotional
Mm.
when she leaves. More like you're happy you found this amazing woman, you got a crush, and then she leaves. So it's like a
Yeah.
heartbreak, like a little kid heartbreak, you know.
Got you.
But it's deeper than
Like
that, of
that.
course. Like it's deeper than that, of course. But like emotionally, it's like that heartbreak, and
For
nobody
sure.
ever told me that freedom could feel like abandonment first, you know. Not fixing it just
Yeah.
there, and you just
Mm-hmm.
sit, you just sit in that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't
I
think
was,
he should. Yeah, I
oh,
don't think he should rush that line.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
no, not at all. Yeah, not at all. Yeah, you're not rushing at these. Yeah, you're not
Yeah.
rushing at these lines. Yeah, and then whatever, and when you do these lines, as we tell them, like when we're actually like doing it, and hopefully I get to be there and stuff. When you get the, it's okay to feel
Bro, I'm gonna
however you.
find you. I don't
Yeah, it's
care.
it's
I'm
okay to
like, if I gotta
feel
order some wings,
100%. We're there, but it's okay to feel how you feel. I think sometimes it was hard for me when acting. Or I don't know how long you've acted, but acting first, the
mm-hmm.
beginning acting of like letting it just take over
Mm-hmm.
takes over. In this moment, this is the moment where it can take over. Like if you
Mm-hmm.
feel if something comes up, but you feel like it's about to come out and you crying, hey,
Yeah.
let it go. Let it. This is the
Exactly.
perfect scene to let it go. You know,
Facts.
so you can let it go in this one, and
Mm.
you can let it go, and then still
Mm-hmm.
have it still do the words. You know, and that's okay. You know, but yeah, that's all I have for her. I want to. Yeah.
I have a
That was good.
Rich, with the letter as that constant object, as a symbol
Mhm.
of something really important, what would he do with the letter in that moment?
I know. I was thinking. I know.
That's
I
what
I
I'm
think.
doing.
want them all to
That's the
have.
part where I clutch onto it. That's the part where I do the sniff the letter, like you know what I mean. I'm like
I
I'm
think. Yeah.
cherishing
I was like
every
you.
little moment. I'm
Yeah.
not
You was
trying to
pushing
let
it.
it go. Yeah, and that's where I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Not even looking back and just
But
imagine it
but
still smell
then
like
when you
Dorothy. You know what I mean?
but what I want each person to have is a bag, something that's representing your weight that you're
Mm.
carrying. So like a backpack, a sachet, a briefcase, a, a gym bag. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
Some type of object that I'm carrying something.
Mm-hmm. Okay, just kind of like um a physical manifestation of actual baggage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't get addressed until we.
So then so then at the end of this scene with when
Mhm,
Tanel walks off, because he
mhm,
walks off after he says, I didn't know abandonment, I didn't know freedom could be abandonment. He
mhm,
walks off, right?
mhm,
Is that where he smells the letter and then put it in his bag and slowly walks off?
mhm.
Can we do it that way?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we can definitely play with that.
Mm.
I think during the lines you're cherishing that letter.
Hmm.
I was thinking more of crushing it, but no, I think you cherish it enough. I think
Hmm.
you cherish it. We don't want to
Yeah,
destroy it, but you're
Okay.
yeah,
holding it. Like you're holding it.
and not even ready to read it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
like you're
Yeah.
very much holding it. It might be a little tighter hold because you're feeling
Mm-hmm.
this emotion now.
Hmm.
But you hold it definitely. But yeah, I like that.
That's
Def.
really good, especially because what's the message we want to give the audience relative to this work?
Hmm.
We don't want to go into like anger and rejection.
Yeah,
Hmm.
No, it's
We
not
That's
want
somebody
that.
else's
to
feelings. Yeah.
go away.
yeah,
My
yeah,
personal first impulse would be like, oh, and then
yeah.
but then to cherish this thing and to hold this as this constant, again, you're keeping it at as a constant object with you
Hmm.
that will give you some strength, some hope.
Hmm.
Okay, so last, John Mark lets it hit the ground.
Hmm.
How does he, in his performative way, pick up this letter where it's like, dang, this does mean something to me? Something he's not saying it, it's just his body language.
Hmm.
So when let me see. So is oh wait. So
Because he
for
leaves he leaves when they're dancing,
oh he leaves. Oh, okay.
right? He's not dancing with them. He leaves.
Hmm.
Because
Oh,
she leaves after she hears him say, he leaves after he hears Dorothy making the lion the king, the
Hmm.
leader.
oh, Very true. Yeah.
And so the Scarecrow, Stark, and Snell and Paul is dancing with Dorothy,
Mhm.
but John Marcus off, like looking like, uh-uh.
Mm. I see. Yeah, I'm not sure what Richard has to say about it, but I can see it in two different ways too, as well. Of the letter stays there until everybody is dancing, and then he picks it up when nobody else sees it.
Yeah.
As like
Mhm.
I don't want to leave the floor there, so I guess I'll pick it up type thing, or essentially picking it up right after in the same notion, but the notion still is in my head. As a, I don't want to show them that I really want to pick up this letter. It's like a play for like, all right, well, I guess I'll pick it up. I don't want to leave no trash here because everybody leaving trash on the floor. So let me just
Or
go
act like
ahead and
he tying
pick
his
it up.
shoe. Yeah, maybe
Yeah,
like he act like he
yeah,
tying his
something
shoe.
to
Like,
play it off.
wait a
Like,
minute.
yeah, yeah,
Or
Yeah, I
Demetrius,
was thinking the same thing.
why don't he pick it up when he comes back to confront you?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Leave it there.
Yeah, yeah. I think I think that would be a good dynamic too as well because he didn't realize I was still going to be there
Mhm.
Right.
either. So now it goes back to how you I was just saying like he didn't really want nobody to know that he cared about what that letter really meant.
Exactly.
Good.
So I definitely I like that.
Yeah. He's coming back for the letter.
And I know if I'm in the audience, I'm
Okay, yeah,
nosy
that
and I'm
makes
seeing it still
sense.
on the ground.
That does make sense when he on God, it does make sense because I think he also gets a little bit emotionally sentimental when he's watching Tanel go through what he's going through. So it makes him open up a little bit. And I think doesn't he walk off? Because Tanel leaves.
Mhm.
Wiz, John is already left.
Yeah,
John
John
leaves
leaves when
after
they're
when
So
they
dancing,
he's
right?
not
dance.
seeing Tanel at
Mhm.
all.
No, no.
Okay.
So yeah, I think it's
He
fine.
hearing Dorothy making Paul the leader.
Mhm.
You
Gotcha. Gotcha.
done
Gotcha. Okay,
told
yeah,
me
I
I
like
can't
that
go
though.
with you, and then you done made somebody else the leader.
Mhm.
Okay,
I
yeah, I
ain't
like
sticking
that. Yeah, I
with
like
it.
how it is too. Yeah, that's cool.
I'm
Mhm.
not sticking around for that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, I like that when he picks up and gets to me sees you. Yeah, I like that. That's cool.
Mhm.
Okay, we'll have him do that.
Mhm.
Okay, guys. So on Thursday, what we want to do is some blocking and just some and going over the lines.
Mhm.
Okay.
Richard, we are at, if you're available Thursday at 7, we're at Brainstorm Media downtown.
Okay.
Demetrius got some gas money for you.
That's funny.
He is a hoot.
Okay, guys. What's your takeaway, Clarence?
Just a better understanding of how the character, from that perspective that we already understand the character, but how they show up in different scenes. The fine tuning of the mechanics, how they're, impacted by others' actions, not alone just their own journey. Yeah, I can love how I'm thinking about how they play off of each other.
Okay. Demetrius.
Same, honestly. The interactions with each other, but they all integrate in each other's stories. So they all have a certain way of like even thinking about with I was thinking about the moment where when they leave, I dap Tennille up and then Stark hugs me.
Mhm.
Tennille, I'm more comfortable with. Stark hugs me as that little brother that I'm like, all right, bro, like get off me. Like I'm cool with it, but get off me. So I like that aspect of just thinking about how they all interact with each other in their own characteristic ways.
Hmm. Yeah. Um, Q as the dancer. What's your takeaway?
You here? Keep going.
We love her. We
No,
lost
she
her.
Oh yeah,
gone.
yeah, she got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You
That
scared her when you told her to turn the camera on.
Just
Now I
she
gotta take
was
this
there.
bonnet off my head. Now I gotta go do this. I gotta go prep. Oh my god! You know what? My internet went down.
she was just on there though.
She
Okay,
was.
Yeah.
Q. Babs, here we are. We're into the script now.
Yeah, I'm really
What's your takeaway?
I'm really impressed and pleased about all y'all's use of self, as humans in this, and then looking at as that individual player, as the connection with other players, as the context, and as the emotional arc of development, based on where you're at as you start, where you were as a child, where you're at when you start, and then that arc of that development as you're coming through it, and the nuanced pieces of what that shows up like in body, tone, you know, action. It's really complex, and it's really incredible how much you covered. I'm
Mm-hmm.
so cool. It's really cool.
Um, Richard, I'll send you the rest of the script, but from what you see so far, I personally think we gave a foundation where, guys, we can on Thursday go from Dorothy coming in the audience up into you guys confronting John Mark.
Mhm.
I think we could go up because now y'all know who your character is, the backdrop. You guys are
Mhm.
not friends with him.
Mhm.
This is a scene. You can carry all this information we gave tonight into
Mhm.
those two scenes that we
Yeah.
didn't go over.
Mhm.
Can I
Okay,
say, can I say one more thing real quick?
Mhm.
The last piece I left out was the level of intentionality for what we wish for the audience. Like everything has to be for the sake of those that are watching this to gain a sense of connection, get in touch with self,
Mhm.
and get in touch with hope and potential for agency for healing. And if we
Definitely.
don't do that, we've missed the mark. You have missed the mark.
Now you in this. You shaping all of this as well.
Yeah, no, really. Yeah, I like where it's at. It's a good foundation. I'm a busy guy, but I'm definitely going to try to come to these rehearsals because I think it's really cool. If not, if I can't come to rehearsal, I definitely try to get on like calls, with like Zoom
I'm
calls,
pulling
stuff
up
like
on you.
yeah, about stuff like we to find out the time it'll work so we can do that at work and stuff like that. But I do like everybody's openness, and I think we got like foundation is really cool. I think Jackie, you wrote this right.
uh-huh.
You snapped. You did
You
good, Miss
hear
Jackie.
me?
Clapping for you. You did
I
real
even
good.
like
It's
the
good.
titles of
Yeah, I'm about to say
the
this is
act.
good, Miss Jackie. It's good.
Yeah.
But it's really good. So I'm definitely excited and stuff like that. So it's a really nice foundation. It's really good.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
think it was. I think we did had a great foundation. Yeah. All
Jackie,
right.
takeaway.
Huh?
What's your takeaway?
Mhm.
Good job.
I that they made the discoveries that I was hoping they made.
Hmm.
Um, they they are and I'm not gonna cry.
Go ahead.
It's not just I gotta read the script. The script is reading them.
Hmm.
And and for Clarence, I'm extremely impressed because this is not what he does. And so I am just grateful. I'm grateful. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for Richard didn't know he was getting ready to be on this play. But look at God. Hallelujah. Um, and just the humility and the yielding that y'all give to each other. You know, nobody's trying to outdo anybody. We're learning this together. Like, oh, this will work and this will work,
Mhm.
and just really supporting and encouraging each other.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
that's just that I walk away with that. This is awesome for me.
That toll of menu effect has already started off with a small number. I'm gonna leave this real quick because we had three events prior to this up to this point. Uh, so just think about the impact you've already made. Um, and just know that, not to rest on your laurels, but just to know that, hey, this is not just this one event. This is a progression to healing. You know what I mean? So no. Definitely. This is just the next step that we have to make. And I think that your eyes are opening more to a
Yeah.
topic that you already have a wealth of knowledge on. Like I'll say, I wouldn't be here without Jackie Tripp today. You know what I mean? So thank you for helping me, encouraging me in my healing and in my spirit.
Mm.
You already know you my holy godmother. So
Mm.
glad to have you.
You're so crazy. Thank you
Mhm.
so much.
Yes.
Okay, guys.
Good night.
Tomorrow. Oh yeah, tomorrow we're on Zoom with the guys from the panel.
Oh yeah, true.
7:30. Um, I'm grateful. I appreciate you guys, and I'll send this video out so it can continue to be a resource, a support, and we will be together this week. Brainstorm Thursday, seven
See
o'clock.
you.
Take good care, everybody.
Bye. Have a great night,
Bye.
guys.
Have a great night, everyone. See you Thursday officially.
See
Okay.
you, Zaris.
Say have a great
Oh,
night. Here you go.
bye, Zari.
I couldn't wait for that part. Hey. Yeah, yeah.
Hilarious.
That's your son.
Bye bye.
Bye.